You guys know I love to read, and I sometimes share in some episodes what I'm currently reading. Every now and then, I challenge myself to read something outside of my usual genre, and that book for me now is House of Rain by Harley LaRue. It's a gothic romance novel that follows Salem, who ends up stranded on a remote island instead of going on her honeymoon. There she meets the mysterious Rain, whose family manor is filled with unsettling secrets. Then people start dying, something begins stalking the forest at night, and what starts as a forbidding attraction turns into a fight for survival. With the isolated island, gothic mansions, and the creeping sense that something terrible is always just out of sight, I was intrigued and creeped out. If you're a fan of supernatural suspense and dark romance with an unforgettable atmosphere, check out House of Rain by Harley LaRue, now available wherever books are sold in print and in ebook. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tane Talks. I am your host, Tane, here with another episode of Married at First Sight, Season 20, Episode 14. My guest today is from the Perfect Match Pod. It is Aysha. Hi, Aysha. How are you doing?
Hello, Tane. I'm doing great. I am thoroughly enjoying season 20. I am just eating up every batch of episodes. It has done nothing but deliver in the entertainment category. All I need from a good MAFS season is one solid couple and then just entertainment from the rest. That but I need that one. So if I
Okay.
think about like season 13, I didn't have that one, right? Think the Houston season. So I'm
Houston,
like,
yes.
so yes, there was a lot of drama and stuff, but I was always feeling that void.
Yeah.
Whereas like I feel like I'm getting that with this season, where it's just like, okay, I have my anchor, and then everybody else is just on their stuff, and it's so entertaining.
It really is very entertaining. You mean Jose didn't do it for you? Is that what you're saying?
Right? I
Oh my God.
never once bought into
He
them.
protects his property. What? um, yes, I agree. I'm okay with the drama and the balance of love. And I know that Michelle and Cameron is doing it for everyone. I was just on your Patreon and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm not 100% there, but they will do for now because everyone else is a dumpster fire.
I
So
know.
we got to hang on, to them. But entertaining, they have delivered on all fronts in that
And
regard.
exactly. And it's so funny because I always see this sentiment, especially this season, because so many more people are watching, which I
Mm-hmm.
love. I
Mm-hmm.
saw you posting, you're like, look at our little show. I'm like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
so proud of it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
watching since season one and just not even having the thought at the time to ever podcast about it. Just
Yeah.
as a consumer of reality TV, I enjoyed
Yes.
it. And then
Yes.
now to see where 20 seasons later, we are on Peacock. People are picking up the show. People are texting me about the show that I've never watched before. They're like, I have heard about Married at First Sight from you, but now I'm actually watching it. I'm like, yes, eat it
Yes.
up. But it's so it's funny because I'm hearing this large sentiment of people be like, where do you find these people? And
Mm-hmm.
I think the terrifying part is these people are everywhere. Like
Everywhere.
you can find a million mechas on a
Mm.
podcast with a mic. Like you there's they're everywhere, which is just shows you where our dating scene is right now.
Yeah.
It's just like it's not a rare thing to match with a
Yeah.
Sean, match with an Adam, where you're just like match with a Nick, where you're just like what do you love? Like what give me some depth. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The cubicle next to you in the office. Yeah, you can find them.
Literally.
And Kristen said the
Exactly.
same thing when she was on the show because I asked, like, you came from the West Coast. Do you see any familiarity there? And she's like, Adam. Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, it does. It happens. So it's unfortunate that it is kind of realistic
Yeah.
because that's what people are facing, every day. But before we do get into the episode, guys, I do want to share some news. We found out that Ryan Danino, who was on the second season of MAFS, married to Jessica Castro, passed away at the age of 40. His sister, posted and shared the news on Facebook on Friday, but I think it happened, earlier in the week. So despite everything, how the marriage turned out and all, still a loss to his family. And, our thoughts and prayers are there to him. It's never pleasant news to hear, when someone passes away. So just wanted to share that, say that.
Yeah, rest in peace to Ryan.
Yeah.
Because Ryan is one of those names where we've had a lot of Ryans. Like you have
Yes.
to you have to
The mask, just like
specify.
salmon mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like Ryan on season 2 was very very memorable at that time.
Yeah.
Just with the, everything that went on with that couple,
Hmm.
but such sad news. I don't think we've had news like this yet in Married at First Sight world.
Yes.
So,
That, yes. Hmm.
so
Yeah. And, just a reminder to people, please be respectful. Like, I don't, I hope listeners of the show are not that way, but people are putting comments on Jessica from her page. She just posted this and was like, just despite what happened, it's kind of weird that you're not commenting or saying
oh
anything
my
about like,
god.
guys, we don't need to be that entitled. If she doesn't want
Right.
to, you don't know their story. Stop this parasocial behavior. Like, let's not do
Exactly.
that. And she responded. I mean, good for her. She's like, I'm respecting the family. Like, I knew when it
Mhm.
happened, but it's not my place. They haven't had a relationship, guys. Like, he was
Yeah,
29 on the show, and he was 40. So, guys, like,
right.
I
They're
just
probably
wish.
not in each other's lives, like, they have moved on.
Hmm.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
People are so weird.
very, very, yeah. And just before I came on, I just saw that Alexis from the San Diego season, she lost her dog. So
Oh,
Newton.
no.
So
Ah,
it's so sad.
Newton, who was so present on the
Yes,
season.
from
Like,
the
that was
season.
pivotal to their relationship.
Yeah.
Oh
So.
gosh, did she say how?
No, well, it was a really long caption I was coming on, so
Okay.
I didn't
Oh,
really see how, but he was
yeah.
13 years old
Oh,
since
wow,
she's had him,
okay.
so
So he
yeah,
lived a good
he lived
life.
a good life, yeah,
That
so
oh, man. Ugh.
yeah, I
Yeah, I
know.
always, like when I hear of, like, pets passing, I'm always like, "Okay, what was the cause?" Because
Yeah,
I just fear that,
yeah,
some mysterious thing will pop up that I'm
yeah,
just like, "Oh, okay, gotta take them to the" I take them to the vet for every little thing, but,
yeah,
yeah, those are our babies, so, sorry, Alexis.
yeah, can you imagine? So, all right, we are back to our people on the MAFS. So we're picking back up on the group session, and Paul has just asked Courtney and Nick, "Do you want out of your marriage?" And I can't believe it, but Courtney says, "I don't know." I'm like, well, add that to the list of lies. Yeah, you
I'm like, what's the point in dragging this out? Because that's all you're doing at this point. For this to be an I don't know, you could have said no at home. Like to get
Hmm.
here in front of everybody is like, I don't know. There's not an ounce of hope you have. You are annoyed at every little thing this man does. So it's
Yes.
like there's no way that should have ever came out of her mouth.
Yes. And then Paz opens it up to the rest of them. I just have to get used to this again because I'm like, it just feels so important that I'm like, do we really need to open it to the rest of them? Like, how about you guys handle
Yeah.
this? And of course, Michelle is the first to pipe up. I'm kidding, guys. But she's like, I mean, she always has something to say. And she says, like, she has been in relationships. She's speaking about herself because she wanted it to work so badly and she was hopeful, but she regretted being with someone for 3 years. And, life is short. Why waste time? And Courtney says, like, she's been in her head and, she wants to be true to herself. And Nick finally speaks and is like, he hasn't felt it being romantic. Tori asked them, is there any gain in sticking it out till decision day? I whispered, maybe influencer career, but,
I, you know, it's funny because like 10 years ago, maths, we'd probably say no. Or no, we'd probably say yes.
yes.
Actually, okay, I'm trying to think
Who
because
was,
like if you think of Nick and the
yes.
amount of followers he already has,
Mm-hmm.
what's the gain really from Married at First Sight, right? Like,
None for him.
yeah, for none for him. There's
Yes.
literally no benefit. He already has the quote unquote clout in the
Mhm.
area that he wants it. For
Yeah.
Courtney, she did have a lot of followers. We did like a follow on our Patreon. We did a
Mhm.
follower tracker thing, and she did have a lot of followers already. So for her, probably not either, unless she's trying to tap into this reality TV world, which in that case, do you really want the people that followed you because of this relationship to continue to be the ones that keeping up with you when they most likely will have just a certain opinion of the relationship that
Yeah.
fails. I don't know.
I feel like, again, I have to keep reminding myself that she's 28 and it's a completely
I forget
different.
that.
Yeah, it's a
I do
completely
forget
different
that.
mindset, and I feel like with that generation, there's a lot of it doesn't matter good or bad PR and things like that's making a comeback. Like as long as I'm relevant, that's all that matters. And
Yeah.
Married at First Sight is as relevant as they come right
Yeah.
now.
And
So
I saw a thing like that on Instagram where someone left a comment, was like, "Why would you do that?" And then the person responded, "Because you would comment this exact thing. Thanks for the engagement." And it's so annoying because like that literally has is what engagement has turned into. And I remind
yeah,
myself, I'm like, anything I post is because I'm already living life and decided
yeah.
to document it and want to share
Mhm.
it. I'm never doing stuff specifically for
For
the views or the likes or whatever.
That's not how everyone thinks. Everyone's trying to go
Right.
viral right now. So no matter how
Exactly.
stupid they look, they're like, yeah, that's what
Let's go
matters.
viral. Yeah.
Uh, if you guys listened to the episode with Henry, we were going back and forth on where Nick lived, and I said I was just going to ask and just get an answer from the horse's mouth. He confirmed that he lives in Austin. So yes, it
Yes.
is Austin, and he lived in
Mhm.
Seattle from 2016 to 2020. But I told you guys, like on Courtney's page, she did mention that she goes back and forth between Austin and Portland. So, and I was wondering, like, I think I told you, Aisha, I was like, I don't think they worked out, but
Right.
but she goes back and forth in Austin, probably why they matched them together. So
That
I
probably
mean,
was a factor in these conversations where they're talking about location because if he's like they if you live in Austin and Courtney, you go back and forth between Austin and Seattle, how do we
hmm
end up back in Oregon?
yeah,
So it was probably
like,
always that like
yep.
I live in Austin now and I really enjoy Austin.
Hmm
What's gonna make me move from Austin to
Back
Portland?
to yeah, I left
Yeah.
for a reason. Yeah. Nick says, I don't know. And Asia, it is, I'm not saying I'm proud of it, but it's a pet peeve of mine. Even in regular life, I just hate an I don't know person. Like when you ask someone about their stuff and there's no answer, especially when it's about you and you're like, I don't know, I don't know. And Nick has just been an I don't know person throughout this whole thing. And I'm like, have a stance, take a stance. Do you or do you not, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's part of us as as podcasters though.
Mhm.
Like I'm not gonna say, Tane, what
Well,
do you think about Devin and Caitlin? You're like, I don't know.
well, not sure.
Right. Like that's not why people listen, you
Yeah.
know?
Mhm.
And so it's so funny because I whenever like I meet people, like if I go to watch
Mhm.
parties and stuff, they're just like, "Hey, I want to start a podcast. Like any advice?" I'm like, "Just always have an opinion." Like
Yeah.
that's literally my mindset is like anything we're talking about, always have an opinion.
Yeah.
And so I try to not carry that over into real life because
Mhm.
sometimes that is the case.
Yeah.
But in this case with Nick, you can't not have an opinion about your relationship that's brand spanking new. Y'all haven't been together for 10 years and now like things are just in motion, like you're
Yeah.
doing your day to day. It's fair to like not have an opinion about any type of like growth at that certain time if you're not intentionally trying to grow together.
Mhm.
Y'all are in your first 6 weeks of marriage. Like you got to have an opinion about her, yourself, the relationship, where you're
Yeah.
going. It's there it is entirely too early to have that I don't know mindset about something that's so important or should be so important.
Yeah. Especially when it's a pattern, because it's one of many, not just
Yes.
this. We've asked him many questions and he's like, "Oh, I don't know. I have to think about it." Well, too much thinking, stop knowing.
Right. Stop
So,
thinking.
he says, "What's the value of 2 more weeks?" And Paz is like, "You are asking the wrong question. The question he should be asking is, do you see yourself able to create a space where there's true viability for a marriage?" I'm like, "Oh, that's a long question." And Courtney's like, "You know what?" And I think she's irritated by the fact that he didn't take a stand. She didn't say it for once.
Yes.
And she's just like, "You know what? There's no reason to stay. No, 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 there's no need. Let's just, this is
Right.
it." And then he's like, "Yeah, it sucks. And, I already expressed I don't know about this being long term." And he just agrees. And I was like, "Yeah, there's no reason to stay. If you knew this, why didn't you say this at the top? Why were you waiting
Exactly.
for her to say it and then follow along. So for once, I think I'm going to be with Courtney, where this is annoying. Even in the
Yeah.
ending, you cannot take a stance. Like, please.
And Courtney's not one of those girls that is okay being the dominant one in the relationship. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, clearly we learned at the very beginning she's probably erring on the side of a more traditional relationship. And as
Mm-hmm.
someone who comes off automatically dominant as Courtney does, she needs a guy even more dominant than that.
Mm-hmm.
And for Nick to be of this mindset of, "Hey, I mirror you. I just do
Mm-hmm.
whatever you do," like I'm the type that mirrors people.
Yeah.
No, she wants you to take the lead. Like, she wants
Yep.
you to take the initiative, say what you want, say how you feel, and he's just not that type of guy, which is
Nope.
why it was so easy to, like, realize these 2 were just not a
Yeah.
match.
Yep. Yep. I mean, he said it right where he was like neither of us is wrong, but we're just wrong for each other.
Yep.
Like, yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. So they agreed to end their marriage tonight, and then Paul is like, "Oh, you guys have been so super. Like, you've made us proud." I'm like, where? Why? How? Did I miss
Right.
it?" You know? And when that happens and they decide to end their marriage, I've always said that when people drop out, like even in past seasons, people are like, "No, we're ending our marriage." I kind of feel like it's infectious because you see other couples kind of feel like, I too could have the sweet, sweet taste of freedom
Yeah.
away from this pain.
Exactly.
And when the camera panned to Caitlin's face, I was like, I would have paid to know what she was thinking, like, huh.
Like,
But
"Oh, I didn't know people were really gonna say no. Wow, that really opens things up." I mean, it's just like when you're at a party
yeah.
and, like, everybody, like, has that feeling of, like, "Dang, it's getting kinda late. I do kinda wanna
Mhm.
go." All it takes, the first
Is
couple of
one
people to
person.
be like, "Hey, I'm leaving," for you to be like, "Yes,
Yes, me
same.
too.
I am too."
And then
So
I'm a
I
little bit.
the only thing that I felt stopped that, like, ripple effect from happening with all of the vulnerable couples was the fact that they made them leave immediately. And, like,
Yes.
they couldn't stick around for the tea, they couldn't stick around to see how the other couples were doing. I was like, "Oh, shoot, like, you're done."
Well, I thought that was weird, Asia. Like they just made them like they walked out immediately. Like in Australia, they at least get to write it out. You get to participate, see the things. But I'm just like, if they knew they were gonna do this, why didn't they make them go last? And then they could
Last,
walk
yes.
out. But also, they're the only ones that they asked if they wanted out.
Mhm.
So the whole thing was strange. So it was probably we can't do this anymore. And the producers are like, okay, we just gotta let them go. But
Right.
why didn't they go last? I That was very strange
They definitely should
choice.
have. Yeah, especially with Nick being the token guy to have an opinion about other people's stuff. Like,
Mhm.
you coulda got some gold from Nick had he sat through the rest of the couples, because that's where he thrived. He did not
Yeah.
thrive in the relationship part of this. That was not his forte, even though that is the point of the show.
Yeah.
He thrives in a confessional atmosphere where he's just giving his opinion about stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's where you could get the Nick that you cast.
Mhm.
But, yeah, I thought it was so strange. They just made them leave, and I wonder if there was any type of resistance.
To
Nick
the
was like, "Well,
streets,
can we just." Yeah, to the streets.
not
They
to
didn't
a
have a
green
car
room or
ready.
something.
They said, "No, out, out, out."
Although I will say though, if I was a couple and Nick tried to chime in, I'd be like, "Sir, your marriage is over. Don't talk to
Yeah,
me. Like, please."
exactly.
um,
Exactly.
okay, going back. Caitlin is terrified. She's like, is this the night everyone's leaving? Like, I'm so terrified about this." And Tori actually seems so shocked. She's like, oh my gosh. So when everyone's getting up to hug and say goodbye, they made it seem like Beljolie and Mecca didn't move. Like everyone got up and they were still sitting
Yeah.
in their seat. But in the next scene, they were up. I have no proof. I don't know if things will come out after, but Loki, I don't think Beljolie cares for Courtney. But I
Yeah,
have no proof. I don't know. Because remember, they don't know about January 6th. I don't know what they
exactly.
know.
Right. But,
So,
you can sense that
mhm,
type of sentiment amongst
mhm.
people,
Yes.
a lot of the time. So, I don't think Beltroli cares for many people outside of maybe Nikki.
Ah.
I mean, I feel like, because if you think about it, Michelle, no. Uh, Courtney, no. I don't know if I've seen her interact with Marissa.
Yeah, they all blend into one. Not during the show, they don't. but afterwards they're hanging out now, but she only hangs out with certain of them, but honestly, I can't remember who
Yeah.
or who
Well,
is.
you know what? I did see a post of, like, with my girls, and it was Belle Jolie, I believe Marissa,
Mhm.
maybe Caitlyn. Um,
Yeah. Was it
so
Tori?
okay, so maybe it, but I think that the stance that Belle Jolie has in these group settings, not this is my man, I'm sticking beside him, right?
Yes.
So she's not here for the friendships and like trying to kind of like nurture those in this setting.
Yeah.
So maybe she does have like a solid relationship with most of the girls, but the ones that she doesn't like with Courtney and Michelle, you can tell.
And you can tell, like, her stance is just like, "Yeah, we're supposed to say stuff, but that's not my business, and I'm not gonna
Yeah, that's not my
add."
relationship.
Yeah, mhm,
Yeah.
and ask all those questions. Okay, so Nick tells Paul, "I hope we can keep in touch," and Paul's like, "You know what? We can." I'm like, "Okay, okay." I
Me when I
just
lie. Me when I lie. Because what in what world is Paul maintaining? Like, what are they gonna talk about? He's not gonna have Nick on his podcast. Like, Paul
I
has
mean,
the heavy hitters on his
yeah.
podcast.
Hey, but he might be shifting into a new direction like
He could
MAFS.
be.
So, you never know. I keep wondering because I don't know. So if anyone knows, please let me know. I don't know if Paul has relocated back to the States or if he's just here while they're filming. Again, like at the beginning, not long ago, I know his wife was going through some health issues. He didn't go into detail or anything, but
Mhm.
we're not clear where she is, what hospital she had surgery, or where it is. So I'm just
Oh.
curious if he's
Yeah.
back here or if he's back there. So I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I was thinking, I was like, well, his family is there. So
Mhm.
yeah, but no, I didn't know about that element of
Mhm.
it. Yeah, I
Mhm.
wonder.
Paz and Courtney have a very, very long hug. And I guess they connected. She tells her again, "I'm so proud of you." And it just gets Courtney crying. Like she's
She kissed her on
seriously
the
crying.
cheek.
She sure did. She sure did.
It's like,
Um
"Wait a second. Dr. Lisa, why are you kissing one of the contestants on her cheek? Y'all are very familial."
We are going to get to a point in the episode, Asia, and I will tell you where something clicked about me with Dr. Lisa that has
Okay.
been bugging me, but we'll get there. But the
Right.
kiss is
Okay.
part of I was like, what
The
are we
kiss is
doing
part of
here?
it.
Dr. Pepper would never. But
Right.
um okay, so we see Nick and Courtney speak outside. Like we said, they're out in the streets. And he's like, this is not how I wanted it to end, but I'm glad I did it and I did it with you. And he's tearing up. Her arms are crossed and she looks pissed. And I'm like, surely we're still not mad. It's
Right.
done.
Mhm.
And even though I was like, oh, is he tearing up? Like, oh, but I can see how it's emotional. I'm still shocked when she's like, oh, now you're tearing up. Now I get to see the side of you. Like, that's just so odd. And I'm like, Asia, get her off my screen.
Right. He's, someone that is very active on social media, and someone was like, "Man, that was wild that Courtney was so torn up about or, like, came at you for
Yeah.
not for crying
Hmm.
when you didn't cry in the marriage." He's
Hmm.
like, "Yeah, next time I'll time my tears better."
It is because I'm like, I just don't understand. I think the thing is, and Nick has had this look many times where he's just like perplexed, like, why does she not understand this? Because he can't believe that he has to explain why he's emotional. They just
Mhm.
went through something that, yes, they have six other couples, but in their relationship, they're the only two that went through this experience together. And it's unfortunate because they both came in, I hope, for with good intentions,
Yeah.
and now it's ending and it's like, oh, that's kind of like goodbyes are sad. That's
Mhm.
normal human emotion.
Yeah.
And she's just not like having it. Like, I don't know, she says like you're contradicting yourself, and whether or not she has a point, you just broke up. What is the point of arguing? That's you
Right,
know
it's over, it's done for. It's like, y'all maybe she's just still in that mode of
mm,
finding things wrong with him and immediately expressing that,
mhm.
but, yeah, that was that was just wild because it's just like,
Mhm.
he can't win. There's
No,
no friendship to be had here.
no, none at all. I want to see or hear a conversation with her ex-boyfriends. I need to know what the dynamic was or what that was about because that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
She's not done yet. She asked him like, "You think you gave it your best shot?" He's like, "I do." And then she's like, "Huh. basically like, yeah, no,
Interesting.
I don't think so. So
Yeah.
Nick says he has no regrets. He learned a lot about himself. He still genuinely believes in love and he still wants to be married. Courtney says like she feels a lot of mixed emotions. She gave everything she could and she's upset that it didn't work and she deserves more. Someone who appreciates that she's independent, motivates her to be better, and she wants a fairy tale ending. He had to ask her for a hug and they do hug, but it's like,
Yeah.
here we go. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
And the producer says, "Any last thing for your interview before you go?" And she's like, "Find me a new husband." Uh, I think that's an impossible
Girl.
task right now.
They said, "We tried. We gave you this." Well, he presented himself as very boring on
Yes.
this show. He may be very interesting outside of this. He has a
Yeah.
social media personality, but we know that does not
Mhm.
translate in real life.
You're like, mhm.
And so they gave her this man that wasn't too extreme in any direction, right?
Yeah.
And this is what happened.
Yeah.
So you can't give her an Adam because there's just gonna be constant butting heads.
Conflict.
But
Mhm.
I feel like she saw an Adam and she was like, "Ah, that's what I wanted."
Yeah. And that's what she
Like, that's the
fixated
type of
on.
guy, and that's why she thought he was the hottest one in the room. That's why she always commented on him. She wasn't commenting on Felipe. She wasn't making comments about Devin. It was like she saw that an Adam was possible, and that was kinda I feel like that was closer to the kinda guy she wanted.
But the grass is always greener, right?
Yes.
What if she was with Adam and then she'll be like, I just feel like he has no depth. Like, I wish I was
Yeah.
with someone like Nick.
Yeah.
That was so
Yep.
crazy.
Yep, they should yes, if they could wipe her memory,
Mhm.
let's pull a Spider-Man, wipe her memory and do it again with Adam.
Yeah.
Prove to her that that was the case. Be like,
Mhm.
"Girl, you had no idea, but we
Yeah.
did this experiment and you just are not you can't be pleased."
Roll the tape.
Right, exactly.
Either way, we are free of her, and for that, I
Yes.
am thankful. Like,
Yes.
I cannot keep having anxiety every time she comes up, on the screen. So, back to the group sesh. Paz tells them that they're okay if it doesn't work out. They just want them to be honest. And I'm like, are we really though? If everyone walks out, are we gonna have a show? Like, imagine if this
Right.
was the Denver season. They'd have had
Yeah.
a strike. They'd be like, we need
Mhm.
to band together, and we're all saying no. So,
Right.
let's be careful what we say.
Okay.
She says if it's not working out, then unwind out of it. So that's it for Courtney and Nikki. Thanks for your service. Sayonara.
Appreciate it. Y'all lasted longer than, I thought you would,
Yeah.
so I'll give you that. I didn't
Yeah.
expect them to last until just 2 weeks away from decision day, because at
Mhm.
that point, usually people are just like, "Let's stick it out."
Yeah.
That's not that much longer, but,
Yeah.
the experts push them to to end this,
Mhm.
and so I'm glad they did because now we don't have to waste our time just saying, "Okay, we're, leading to the inevitable."
Yeah. And I can't wait for all the interviews because I want to know who pushed for it to end. Although my
Mhm.
money is on Courtney because Nick doesn't. Well, behind the scenes though, he has a voice. As long as
Right.
he's not with her, he has a
Exactly.
voice. So I don't know. We'll see how that
Yeah.
went.
Maybe he had just been so vocal, like when you mentioned production at the beginning,
Hmm.
maybe he had just been so vocal in his confessionals about this not working out that they're like,
Yeah.
"Look, y'all, we gotta call it."
Yeah, and then, giving them credit because this is what they do, maybe they understand like this is not fun to watch. Like
Yeah.
maybe they're watching tapes and they're like, this is not, looking
Mhm.
like something the audience will enjoy. No need to, stretch this out. So,
Yeah.
okay. All right, we'll take a quick break and I'll be right back. Talk about Sean and Nikki. And we're back. So, at this moment, Asia, what do you make of them? I can't remember where you stood, where I think that, they had a conversation, which is going to make nice in front of everyone. Are you there or do you think they're actually making progress?
So, I think that they have had an intentional conversation at this point to be like, in front of the other couples, we're good. We're presenting a united front. We
Okay.
don't want people going in on our relationship. But in reality, I feel like Nikki has realized that Sean is not her person, but she's going to get by to get by. Like,
Good
she's
for
not gonna be checked out, she's still gonna be involved, she's still gonna be a good sport about it,
Mhm.
but I feel like she has realized her answer on decision day, where
Mm.
Sean is like, there's still so much progress to be made. Like, we could get
Yeah.
there, we could get there. Like, I'm so attracted to her. Like, we can, but of course he would never admit that
Meant
because he
that.
was
Mhm.
stage trying to humble her.
The
And,
ops.
and so I feel like he is in this mindset of like, it still could work.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, their session starts with Nikki saying that, "Oh, that was a lot. I'm an empath." That always gets my eyebrows like, "All right." Like, there's a lot of reality TV people who like to say, "I'm an empath," and I'm like, "We'll see it. We'll know it if you
Yeah.
are, but thanks for letting us know." So,
Jason said
uh,
that exact
oh,
thing. He's
really?
like, "Oh, empath. God, everybody says that."
Me too. And I'm
I
like,
was like,
okay,
"Jason, chill."
oops. I agree. I'm like, cookie?
You
Okay.
literally that was exactly his sentiment. He's like, "First you're a sapiosexual, now you're an
Yes.
empath." He said
Yes.
these buzzwords, which, it's so funny because I could believe that she's an empath more than, like, her definition, I guess, of sapiosexual,
Mm,
and, like, then that means that she would be more attracted to Sean than
yeah. Then,
she is.
yeah.
Um, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Put
Mhm.
yourself in just say, "Oh, I like a intelligent mind." Like, don't put all the
Yes.
labels and all the stuff. So, okay, she says they've been through ups and downs, but they've progressed, and she's still trying to build the concept of trust with him. And the fact that they have 2 weeks left and that she has to be there doesn't resonate with her. And once
Mhm.
again, begs the question: Is 6 weeks enough? I asked Henry that question, and he says like it sounds like 2 weeks is not a big deal, but it is. They
Mm,
need that
mhm.
extra 2 weeks because now it just feels so rushed, and there's just like not enough time
Yeah.
for all of this. So Sean was like, "Yeah, she has issues, trusting me or being attracted to me in some ways or whatever." Because again, guys, this man does not believe that Nikki is not attracted to him. You cannot tell him nothing. I truly believe
Mm-mm.
that Sean thinks that she just needs to come around, but she does.
Yeah, like, this girl trying to act like that was an all-time confessional for this season. For him to just be in so much disbelief that she is not attracted to him based
Yeah.
on his proof of what has happened so far.
Yeah.
Which she turned me down with food in her mouth. You mean she probably kissed you at the wedding when she was eating cake? Like, like, I need the actual translation of what actually happened compared to his where he's imagining these things.
This is why I say I'm so curious. Oh well, I can't wait for the reunion, guys. When I was on Asia's on the Patreon, Asia kind of broke my heart because she's like, "You think Kevin is gonna do it?" And that was not even a thought in my mind. I'm like, he is definitely coming back, but it's a new dawn, it's a new era, so we
New
don't
day.
know, and they haven't made any announcements. So now I'm worried.
I
But either way,
know.
I need questions answered and I need all of it asked, and I can only see Kevin doing it. So I hope they keep him. So we'll see.
I know. The fact they haven't announced it is what makes me concerned because you would think that Kevin would be like, "Hey guys, like I will be back,"
Yeah.
because that would be a big question.
Yeah.
But oh, did they? Yeah, I'm just afraid they hired someone new that is
Ugh,
like a well-known I don't even
person.
know, like a reality person.
Who in the
Yeah.
world? We'll find
Mhm.
out on the 27th. They'll no,
Yes.
not 27th, next week. Because they need to show us the preview
Oh, the
for
preview for the
next week.
reunion.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it should come out.
But would they if that spoils decision day? Because you can like read into people's like matching outfits,
Yes, that's true.
or we could just get a promo from Kevin, like this is the Married at First Sight reunion, and if we
Yeah.
get that, then we're good.
Yeah. I like how you said that. Definitely. Promo from Kevin.
Yes.
No, nobody else. um, okay. So he says like his big issue is that there's something going on with Nikki. There's something underneath that's not clear. Like there's not consistent emotional availability or transparency from her family. And I'm like, what? Like,
And this
honestly,
is new, right? Like this is something like we have not heard expressed from him.
yes. Thank you for saying that. I literally wrote this caught me off guard. Like, what?
Like, wait, you have an issue?
Yes. you haven't even settled. So why is that an issue? Like, everyone's all over the place. And I'm like, now you
Mhm.
want her family. She barely not doesn't like you, but she's not there yet. Why would she
Yeah.
involve her family on that? And then he adds, I want to talk to her mother or someone in her family or someone who knows her. There's a puzzle piece missing. And to me, it's just Sean doing what he does. He's such a showboater. Like he's
Yeah.
like a showman, and he wants to show I'm Mr. Smart Guy, and I'm
You wanna
thinking
talk about
beyond.
performative.
Clock it. Since we're throwing that around,
Right.
yeah. So I think he's trying to be smart. Like, no, I'm so intelligent. I've thought about this. Emotionally, I'm aware, and the way I see it is like, even if you speak to her mother, that's her mother. That relationship is different. They have
Yeah.
not been in a romantic relationship with her. They're not gonna answer that question. And also, she's not attracted to you.
Right.
That's the missing piece.
Yeah.
You just don't want to accept it, but that is the missing
She
piece.
just doesn't wanna admit it. No, that's you who doesn't want to admit that
Hmm.
you may be a little bit intimidated by her success, that you may
Yeah,
not be as comfortable as you thought you would being with someone who is in the similar, like, arena of success.
yeah,
Because I mean, if I think he's projecting.
yes.
Yeah.
Very much so. And then the thing with these men is when it happens because they don't know how to deal or handle with their emotions, the next thing is I want to humble you. And then
Yeah.
it comes out in little
Yep.
ways. She's the bougiest one in her house. Like, you know, like,
I'm around bougier.
what does that have to do with anything? Anyways.
Exactly. He's so
Um,
annoying.
very, 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 very for a 48-year-old too. So,
Yes.
yeah, sense doesn't come with age, guys. So she says there's a time and space and comfort level with that integration, and she wants to feel good about the relationship so much, the relationship first. And Lisa says what bothers her so much is that when you like someone, you should be so proud, you want to say it. And I'm like, I don't know why she's bothered. She's not there. She says it
Yeah.
all the time, and they keep skipping over that. Like, hurry up and get there. So it does feel like some kind of pressure for her to just like him. Like, why don't you like him? What's not to like?
Yeah.
She's and then she does the switch up. I wasn't there before, but now I'm ready. And Paul is like, what? Sean looks surprised. And he's like,
Right.
yeah, we didn't know there was a problem, and all of a sudden there's a solution. I just it's hard to keep up.
Because I feel like that perfectly everything they've done so far lines up with this theory of a this together front that they're trying
Yeah,
to put in front of everybody because presenting a problem and then you don't have a solution backed up to it, then people are
yeah,
going to try to say, "Well, then why don't you just do the blah blah blah?" Like that
yeah,
invites the other couples to add what they think are good solutions, right?
yeah,
So for him to bring this up, she's like, "Oh, you know what? I am ready for him to meet them." I don't
yeah,
think she was. I think she's just saying it as like a band-aid for okay, because I've already presented a solution. Y'all can't say anything else.
yes, yeah. And I think what they suffer from is united front, but it's worse because I think everyone can see through them,
Yeah.
and that's why they get some of the reactions. Because again, what was it the last dinner when whoever was talking and it just felt like they were all smirking, like
Yeah.
they weren't taking it
Mhm.
seriously.
Mm-mm.
So she then Paul says community and romance is the two places of high concern for them. Lisa is ad libbing in the background. Yep. Yes. Yeah. And Paul asks how romantic they feel together when the cameras are off. And Sean says we've had moments, but when they bring up physical stuff, there's a gun shyness that comes over Nikki because she's not attracted to you, but I
Yep.
digress.
You're like,
um
"What is it? What's the blocker?"
he says she said in her vows it takes her a while to open up, but from where we were then to now, it's light years. So they're doing that thing where they say something real, then they catch themselves, then they add something
Mhm.
positive. So it's like, okay, we're going back and forth, but we're good.
Yep.
She says the attractiveness and emotional piece matters, and the physical contact feels nice, but it's not romantic. Okay.
Which
Uh,
which is like I'm not going to say everything is like we're at the point where like there's no other unanswered questions. So the
yes.
fact that okay, the physical we're progressing, but is it romantic? And I'm like, that's exactly what you said you needed. Like, you said you needed an emotional connection before you got to the physical.
Physical. Yeah.
And if y'all are progressing physically, but there's no emotional connection, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why is it progressing physically?
I mean, what I heard when she said it feels nice, but it's not romantic was I'm not repulsed. That's
Yeah,
good, right? That's
exactly.
that's all I heard. Like, I
I
want to do it.
tolerate it. He,
Yes,
like,
my
wants
man.
to make out, and I'm like, "Okay." Like, I put on a timer, and soon as it's over, like, I'm fine.
Yeah, I
As long as it
survived.
doesn't last too long.
Give me a t-shirt.
You're right.
Paul says what we've all been saying, like just the whole conversation. Like he says everything we've been saying, like as
Yeah.
podcasters and in the community, that this just sounds like a joint venture, like a board meeting.
Yes.
And they're both like, oh, this is sexy talk for us. And Sean is like, are you trying to turn us on? And I was like, ugh, just go away.
Please.
So she says she wants butterflies. And then Sean says very specific things. Like, what I want is for this. We call your mom on Tuesday at 8:59, 2 seconds. We have a bath together. We do massages in our
Right.
nightwear. Oh, it could just be me. Everything Sean says, and I will admit that that's how I interpret it, just sounds icky. He might say the
Yeah.
best things with intention. When he comes out his mouth, I'm just, ugh.
I know, because we know she doesn't want it. Like, imagine if Cameron said, "I want a bath, tonight." And we're like, "Oh, Michelle would love that."
Yes. Yeah, that
Like,
that is true.
I think it's because we're trying to read between the lines, between
Yeah.
what like, it'd be totally different if Nikki
Yeah.
was the one saying this. If Nikki was
Yes.
saying, "I would love if we did massages. I would love if we did this." It's him where it feels like a demand because we know that's what he wants. Like, he wants more than that. And
Yes.
so this is his compromise, but still is in this gray area of what we don't know that she's okay with.
It feels manipulative to me because it's just she has made it very clear where she stands and it feels like she has to keep saying it and he keeps pushing the boundaries to see how far can I go? Can we do this?
Mhm.
Okay, that's fine. Can we do this? Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
But why are you bringing it up at all? Why not just
Yeah.
sit and wait, let her come to you on what she wants to do?
Right.
So she does say, well, she looks stunned at first, then she catches herself and is like, "Yeah, it's hard to do things, transactionally. I can't quite do that." And Cameron says, "Yeah, Nikki's just not into Sean. Like she just keeps deflecting every question that has to do with romance or
Yep.
physical connection." And Michelle is like, "It's hard to fake romance, so sorry."
Yep.
Um
Exactly.
Paz tells them that they need to have enthusiastic intentionality. And then she joins the cool kids to say, what it needs is its vibes. I mean, the way she did it was so funny because she turns to Adam and Adam's like, "Oh no, sorry. I was just like," she's like, "No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. Like I was just gonna say vibes." In a confessional, Sean says, "Today was a come to Jesus moment. Like he's leaning all the way in, you're trying, and it's either you lean all the way in or you get out." And I thought that was rude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, maybe it's my bias against Sean.
I know. I know. I guess if it were phrased like, either if you're not going to try,
Yeah,
or if you don't see this as like a possibility, then we should just call it.
maybe it was the tone.
Yeah.
He was just
Absolutely.
like,
Absolutely.
"I'm leaning all the way in, you're trying. Basically, I'm doing more." And then it's like, well, it's either you lean all the way
Yeah.
in or get out. Well, if you just said you're leaning all the way in, she's not, then what are you saying? So,
Exactly.
you know.
Yes.
Paul wraps him up by saying, "See you at the next board meeting." And I'm not pleased with their session. I don't understand them not honing in on how uncomfortable she is around him.
Exactly. What the heck was that? Why did they
Yeah.
just, "All right, moving on." Oh, but you
Yeah.
press Nick and Courtney until
Yes.
they broke up? I'm so confused.
Yes. Like just, the number one responsibility is just like they should be comfortable. Like at the end of the day, you shouldn't do anything you don't want to do. And he just keeps pressing on the issue. And the other thing is every time I see them around the group, we talked a little about this before we came on Asia. I'm like, the group don't know about mutual masturbation gate. And
Yes.
and also Courtney with the January 6th. So I just can't wait to see how they react to all of it. Or both.
Exactly. Like,
So
I mean, I wonder, I mean, they usually do, but before the reunion, have they
Mhm.
watched every episode or did they just only watch up until real time?
Oh, that is true. That is true. And I know in the past they have had group chats, but if they had a united front, I don't know how much Nikki is sharing or would
Yeah,
share. So,
exactly.
oh, reunion. But it looks like we're getting one part though, which is, did we
Yeah,
have one last season?
we did. We did have
Oh,
one last season, but the thing is, uh, we're on Peacock, right? It could be 2 hours.
that is true. That is true.
Yeah,
Because
we don't
seven
we don't know
couples.
the link.
Yeah, we have more
Mhm.
couples too. So,
Yeah.
okay. All right, take a quick break and I'll be right back. And we're back. Let's talk about Felipe and Tori. They asked them, what is the significant conflicts that are impacting your strong marriage? And Tori is like, Felipe's indecisiveness of what he wants in general. Felipe, as usual, is hunched over, says his indecisiveness is not whether or not he likes her or attracted to her, it's whether or not I want to be married or not. I got to tell you, Asia, this was confusing for me because if they're not legally married, what is the issue, Felipe? Is it
Mhm.
monogamy? Monogamy is the key word. So stop saying if I want to be married because maybe that's why Paul got so mad at him. Like, you're
Yeah.
lying. You're lying, you
Yeah.
know?
Yes. I think that, uh, he is trying to say, do I want to be monogamous, right? Like, do
Mm-hmm.
I want to decision that's why decision day is so nerve-wracking for him because that's why it's the biggest decision now
Yeah.
because that's him deciding he wants to be monogamous, but what he's realizing is he doesn't and he's not ready to be. And
Yeah.
he's like, "But it's not you because I do like you,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
it's not yeah, it's not you, it's me."
Yeah. Yeah. He's just all over the place.
Yeah.
But Paul says he has no doubt that he likes Tori, but he questions it. His question is because of the comments that he said that he was unsure of giving up having sex with lots of women. Felipe instantly gets defensive and is like, "Well, they asked me a question about being single, and I said the obvious thing." Paul said, "Obvious to you,
Right. The
to
fact that he
you."
was like, "Doesn't everybody feel that way? Don't you all miss sleeping with a bunch of people? Like, where what am I getting wrong? What are you talking?" That should have shown the looks around the room should have
Yeah,
shown you how off base you are because
yeah,
you are on Married at First Sight. This is not Love is Blind where, you can get some similar mentalities. Like everyone
yeah,
came here with the intention of marriage and for you to be like, "I said the obvious." That should show you how like off base you are in
yeah.
terms of like what you wanted coming into this show.
Yep. He's like, it's obvious to anyone that's single. No. No, it's
You're not
not.
single, my guy.
Paul is like, you came here because you were lonely. Do you see the contradiction? And
Right.
Paul's like, the hard truth is what he knows of mature men is that once they find a great thing, they shut off everything to focus on that great thing. And when they're vacillating, then the camera pans to Mecca. What they're
Mhm.
really saying is, I'm just not ready now.
Right.
Tori says, like, yeah, it's gotten to the point of emotional manipulation and selfishness. Like, why join something that requires commitment? You have to have a degree of certainty. And it's clear that Felipe doesn't have that. So she's questioning if he's genuine. And I think that's been the hill that she's been on this whole time is like, do whatever you want to do. But right now, it's like the feeling when I did feel a little safe with you, was that even real? Was that
Right.
you? And do I know who you are? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I love uh Tori's approach to
Hmm.
him is like, this is you. Like I
Hmm.
what do you expect me to do? I'm not here to babysit. I'm not here to, get you to be the man that I
To
want you to
fix
be.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not here to fix you. So I love that she is I mean, all of her responses to all of this is like just showing her maturity
Yes.
and how much more mature she is than him and how
Yes.
they are just in different playing fields. Like I
Yes.
she is in the professional league, he is still, like, playing T-ball, and
Yep.
they unless they and I don't think she needs to come down for him, he needs to come up to her, it's not a matter of Adam and Marissa where they need to find, like, an even ground.
Yes.
This is no, she's where she needs to be, and you need to get there. And I don't know if he can do that in 2 weeks. I think that's impossible. That's lying at that point. If he
Yes.
says, "Oh yeah, no, I'm here. I'm ready to be monogamous. I don't miss sleeping with a bunch of people. I don't."
Yes. No notes. I completely agree. When it comes to maturity, they are not equally yoked, people.
Oh, exactly. And Tori should know that.
Yeah.
Tori is the one who would know that terminology.
Yeah.
He's not,
Yes.
yeah, like he's not walking around here looking for somebody he's equally yoked with.
Mm-hmm.
Tori is actually looking for that, and I don't
Yes.
think she should compromise that because when she was with her friends, she's like, I realize it's more of a person.
The days are longer, the calendar's filling up, and I want to feel as good as this beautiful summer weather. That's why I've been loving Groons. It's one daily pack of gummies that covers my greens, vitamins, minerals, and even has 6 grams of prebiotic fiber, so I don't need to juggle a complicated wellness routine on top of everything else. They taste amazing. They're easy to toss in my bag on the go. Plus, they're vegan, gluten-free, and HSA FSA eligible for reimbursement. Save up to 52% off with code PODCAST at Gruns.co. That's code PODCAST at GRUNS.co.
Are you seated? Do you know what's coming next? You probably really don't. It's Anna Lawani here from Culture Shock, the podcast where celebrities, all sorts of culture makers, people, and everybody in between, we just get on. And we're trading rehearsed answers for some unexpected, shocking questions, maybe sometimes dumb, that you may ask yourself sometimes, and you want to see someone else ask them. With all things plenty of laughs, surprises, and just enough chaos to keep everyone on their toes, you might enjoy this podcast. Be sure to check out Culture Shock wherever you stream your podcasts online, and obviously, you're gonna like this. I'm sure of it.
No journey. No, go back to what you, because that's the standard you have for yourself.
Yes.
You had that for a reason, and you don't
Yes.
need to compromise that for Felipe.
Yep. Let it serve you.
Yes.
And I honestly, I think she unlocked something really important. I don't think I thought about it when she said the whole thing of he's had everything done for him. His job is through his
Yep.
family. His previous job was through his dad. And it's like, okay, yes, that is true. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
end up being a second mommy
Yep.
to him, and you have to do all the things. And she's just like, nope, I'm not taking it on. You got to figure that out.
Exactly.
But like you
Exactly.
said, 2 weeks, nah. For something you've been doing for how long? Nah.
Exactly.
So, okay. So then Paul asks him, will you be more disappointed 1 year from now when Tori's in a committed relationship because she will be in a committed relationship with someone else? Or if you're at home with your cat with all of your freedom that you want, which scares you more? And I get what he's trying to do, but it's hypothetical. I just,
Yes, you
if he had an
can't like
answer,
me with the hypotheticals because of course you're at home lonely with your cat, like no one, the door's locked, you have no access to people, or do you want Tori with someone else? Like what the heck?
like if you had an answer, we would not be going through all of this. So I
Yes.
get it. So he says, like, yeah, if I saw Tori with anyone else, I'll be upset. Camera pans to Mecca. Um Also at this point, Mecca knows his hair is gnarly because now he's rocking that beanie nonstop. We've seen it so
Yes.
many times, and I'm like,
I'm
okay.
like, Mecca, if you had any, there's no reason you should be rocking these cornrows for 6 weeks. You've been
Mm-mm.
in water. You like, why have you not made like? And I guess, don't get me wrong. Get me wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm assuming, but Belgia strikes me as somebody who knows how to braid hair. Like she could, like for her own hair, I feel like she keeps up herself enough to where she could hook him up with something. Even if they took the braids out and like figured out some styles,
Yeah.
she could help.
Maybe that's where she drew the line. She's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick beside him, but when it comes to that, you're on your own. I think what I'm
Right.
more shocked at is that both of them seem like they're really into appearances. Like, I mean, he
Yeah.
was double decked with the chain, with a big old
Yes.
Mecca and all that, and you skipped your crown. Like, you
Yes.
completely skipped it. That's odd.
And
It's
what's
super
funny
odd.
is like it reminded me of just even thinking of his hair, it reminds me of like Serena and Cordell from Love
I was just
Island.
thinking that.
'Cause
Yes.
Cordell recently cut his hair, and someone was
Yeah.
like, "Why did you cut your hair?" He said, "The day that she was ready before me, I realized it was time to cut my hair."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you guys remember, one of my things when I did the preview and I saw Mecca, I was like, this man is wearing cornrows in 2026. I don't, there's no rules, but it's not for me. I'm just like, why? Why are we
Right.
still doing this? You know?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the dangly earrings, but that was the second thing for me.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
combo is like, stop it.
Mm-hmm.
So Paul says, no, Tori says like he likes me enough to continue in the process, but just not enough to care about my emotional state throughout. And
Yep.
she's annoyed.
Ooh, that hit.
She's annoyed. I'm so glad. It seems so little that she didn't say, and I'm hurt by that. She's like, nah, I'm just annoyed. Like,
Yeah.
figure it out. Leave me out of it.
And and that's the, like, when you've gotten to the point where it's like it's not making you cry, it's not making you
Mm-hmm.
sad. You're just,
Indifference.
yeah, yes. When you hit that indifference, when it's just like it's just annoying at this point, that is that's like that's a level of, it's hard to come back from.
Yeah.
Like if she was still in a state of like, oh, this really upsets me because I'm here and he's not
Yeah.
here. But the fact that she's at annoyed, and even that surprises him.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea she was annoyed. Like, oh, I'm in this.
That's
Like, what are you
crazy.
talking about?
That's crazy. Paul tells him, like, you're hurting your partner at this point. Camera pans to Mecca. And he has come here charismatic, but always leaves with like a cloud of doubt. And he has never felt that doubt from Tori. You keep straddling the fence and you can't straddle anymore. Like you need to decide if you're all in or if you're
Mm-hmm.
not. And Felipe is like, oh, I decided yesterday and the day before. Like I want desperately to say yes on decision day. He's contradicting himself again.
Yes. Yep.
Oh my God.
Which hence the emotional manipulation. I didn't think she
Yes.
was off base by any means, thinking that she's emotionally manipulated by this, because he is saying what he needs to say to keep her there. Like
Yes.
he knows that if he kept it at his brutal honesty that he's giving at this point, that would be enough for her to be like, okay, then why are we here? Like, let's just
Yeah.
end this. But he's like, no, but it's not. I've never changed how I felt about you. I'm still as crazy about you as I was on the first day.
Yeah.
Okay, well then that should be a problem,
Yeah.
because you didn't know me the first day. You just saw me. You thought I was beautiful. If anything, your feelings should be stronger now.
Now
I don't
that
need
you
you
know
to feel
me.
the same you did the first day. Like that's not the
Yes.
flex you think it is.
Yes. And it's either like one of the two things is a lie. Which is it?
Yeah.
You have all these feelings for me, or you want to still keep, sleeping with other people, or the commitment, or whatever reason he's choosing for the day.
Yeah.
Pick a lane and stick
He
with
can't.
it. Paul says your body language is saying, I found someone good. I just don't know if she's great. I'm like, ding, ding, ding. I think that's
Mhm.
absolutely true. And if you don't think that it's great, then this is not the right marriage for you. Felipe
Yeah.
says, I think you're wrong. That he has faith, because he asked him, do you have faith in your marriage? And he's like, yes. And Paul is like, I don't think so. And Paul says, I don't believe you. And Felipe is like, it's hard to convince you because you're not the one who I need to convince. And Paul is like,
Mhm.
oh, now you're just trying to be disrespectful. He goes, no, I'm not. And Paul says, nope, you are. Don't go down that path with me. And I'm
Mhm.
like, all that was silent was, you got the wrong one. I got time today. he's,
Yeah. Oh,
he's
and
like, oh, go
Jason
ahead.
didn't think this was disrespectful. He thought that Paul blew it up, but I felt it was disrespectful.
Okay. I was too caught up in enjoying how much. Wait, let me say. He said, the last thing he said was, I'm sitting here trying to save your marriage, and you're sitting here digging yourself a hole, but not saying anything with your chest. Everything you say is half assed, and I need you to
Mhm.
step up. Okay. I, I didn't think it was disrespectful because Felipe was just like, oh, no, 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 I wasn't. But I just think that I was enjoying it too much. Even I was shocked at how giddy I got at this whole
Yes.
exchange. I'm not even a Jason. I love the mess, but this was so good. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
But let me think about it. I didn't think it was disrespectful at first, but the more Paul talked, I did think that Paul came with a bone to pick with Felipe.
Yes.
Like it was a little out of proportion, but I did
Right. It's
care.
like, if that's your mentality, that I'm not the
Yeah.
one you have to convince, then
Yeah.
what are we here for? Like I'm talking to a brick wall, because
Yes.
if you are operating based off of Tori's silence right now, you're not operating how she feels.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, she's fine with this, so why are you pressing the issue? I think it was more like reading in between the lines of this comment as opposed to just simply, you're not the
Yeah.
one I have to convince.
You know what? I'm thinking about it. I'm playing the scene. I think everything together I'm switching. It was disrespectful. I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
about how he was slouched over. Listen, I don't
Yeah.
know if he has a condition or if it's just bad posture. I don't
He's
know.
like, huh?
Yeah, so he's slouched over. He has this look, and the way he exactly said it was, I mean, it's hard to convince. Basically, I don't give a fuck if you believe me or not. That
Hmm.
part, yes, it
Yeah.
was disrespectful. Like I don't need to convince you. And this man is like, I don't need you to convince. You lose. I
Yeah.
don't lose anything. So why are you talking to me like that? So yeah,
Yeah.
mm.
Exactly.
This ain't Pastor Cal.
At
So
all. He's like, I have he's like, I'm gonna make my feelings known. I'm not just gonna be like, oh well, these are y'all's
yeah,
relationships. I like this involvement from Paul. And I think we see it more from Paul than Lisa, but I like that Paul is holding their feet to the fire because someone needs to. Like
someone needs
what
to.
are they
Yeah,
watching these dinners for if they're not gonna
yes,
come at these couples like this? Like if they're not gonna try to hold their feet to the fire, have them like show some ounce of accountability and make
yeah,
them make changes,
yeah,
because if you just let them, which is why I feel like they didn't do enough with Sean and Nikki as you would
yes.
imagine that they should have, with the way that
Yeah,
their approach was to Nick and Courtney, to Felipe and Tori.
yeah. And a healthy dose of fear is good. I like that when they come for the group
Yes.
therapy, they're like, oh my God. They need that. So
Yeah, yeah.
don't think like you're gonna skate through. And honestly, every time we see this group therapy, I think of Dr. Pia because I think she would have thrived in
Yes.
this
Oh, that would have been
environment,
her lane.
in this circumstance.
Yes.
Okay. Mecca and Beljolie. With the number of times the camera panned to Mecca, they had to be next, so they were
Mhm.
next. Paz wishes Beljolie a happy birthday, and Caitlin was like, "Oh yeah, I stalked your Instagram, and what a guy, that was great." Help me out, Asia. What are the logistics of this? Like, did they post while they filmed the show, but because we didn't know who it was, is it all scrubbed out now? Like, were they private? Like, how do you think this all worked that she posted what Mecca did for her on her birthday on Instagram?
I immediately assumed private story.
Oh,
I thought maybe like, okay, she, in order to share with the girls, like their close
yeah, the
friends,
close
was
circle. Okay.
only the cast.
Okay.
I don't know if they would go to that level of like, everybody clear out your close friends. We're starting with, like if they're like, you have to post.
Yeah.
Um, or if Belle Jolie posted it like a people, because people will post just flowers, or they'll post
Yeah.
just this, and like people are, ooh, are you with somebody?
Yeah.
Maybe it was that,
Yes. Okay.
because like that probably wouldn't have been too off base for what she had done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So it very well could have been possible that like it's her birthday, she's posting what she got, but not necessarily posting like, oh, my husband through Married at First Sight gave me
Yeah.
these things.
That's true. That's true. Okay. That's all plausible. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Lisa says when Paul was talking to Felipe that, she was looking at Mecca and he's like, yeah, that they have a similar track. I'm like, okay, this is the second week where Mecca is going behind Felipe and they're saying both of you are the same. And I'm like, I don't like this for my girl. Like, stop
I
it.
know.
They talk about the definition of love since he has never been in love, and they have no reference point when it comes to familial, relationships. And Paul, I think, asks Belle, well, he calls her Belle. And I'm like, did she say it's okay? You know how some people don't like when you shorten their name, but
Yeah. Mhm.
he does. So he says, Belle, have you chosen Mecca? She goes, yes, I have. That, in her past relationship, she has always initiated. So now she wants to be in a relationship where she doesn't have to initiate much. She adores, well, Paul is speaking and she adores him.
Mhm.
She doesn't want to push him away. So she suppresses her feelings. She doesn't disagree. And
Mhm.
it's always tough what they agree with or not because it's a high pressure situation. Everyone's watching, everyone's
Yeah.
saying things. He's so compelling that you're like, yeah, I think that's how I feel. Yeah, let's go with that. So
Yes.
I don't know. But she doesn't disagree.
Right.
And he tells her like if you don't speak up, like you're going to have resentment. So every time you feel a thing, say the thing.
Mhm.
And from what I've heard about the next episode, maybe he shouldn't have said that.
I know. Oh gosh.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. I haven't seen the next episode, guys, but I've heard what's going on, and so
Mhm.
sad. But Mecca, do you choose Belle? Pause. Looks around. Yes, I do. And Paz says, huh, I wish it was more definitive. Like,
Right.
I want you or I'm falling for you. But I will give Paz this. She did add, or whatever your truth in this is for you. Because I've been saying
Mhm.
this. Stop feeding stuff to them. Like, let them say how they feel. So I like that she added that part. Like, yeah,
Yes.
for that. So he says that they're telling him, like, I don't know if you can hear that it's passive the way you talk about her. And he says, yes, like he can hear that it's passive because if today was decision day, he would say yes. He never knows when to stop because then
I
he's
know. I
like,
know.
it wouldn't be like a hell yeah, let's do this. Or I'm like, why do you have
Like,
to say
why
that?
what was the need to try to humble her? Why couldn't you just say, "If today was decision day, I'd say
Yeah.
yes." And then you have to try to qualify it so that she knows it's not like an overwhelming yes, it's like a, "Yeah, we'll see how it goes." It's so
Mm-hmm.
it just I don't know what the thought process is. Like, what was the
Yeah.
point?
Yeah. A couple of episodes ago, I listened to your episode, and I think you were saying like you're waiting for Mecca to like choose her. Because I'm not gonna lie, when he said it the first time, I was like, I don't get what Paul means by him choosing her. He's doing the best he
Yeah.
can and all that kind of stuff. But now I understand what it is. Like he's the tiptoeing, not attracted to
Mhm.
you. Now I'm attracted to you. Oh, your birthday is good, but no, I'm not. The in and out, it's not consistent.
Yes. Exactly.
So now I understand that, and just him just saying all these things like, I bet you love me, but I'm not quite sure. But I could
Yeah.
still be someone, but not have feeling. Why are you saying
What
this
was the point of that?
to her? Not nice.
Uh,
Paul says there are two V's, vision and voice. Pat says there's three, if you will. Mecca says, ah, ha 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 ha. That's true. If you're confused, guys, Paz is a sex therapist, and she means vagina. And this is the point, Asia, that I understood why Paz was hired for this. Or maybe it just clicked for me. Paz is here to be the cool mom. I just didn't think, because I'm used to the three experts that we had being professional, keep things cool,
yeah.
but we've seen her kiss Courtney on the cheek. We've seen her rub Mecca's arm. We've seen her saying, like, stop
Vibes.
self-sabotaging, and just, we've seen her
Mhm.
cursing and all the stuff. And now three V's, haha. Like, where Paul can be intense, like, yes, he is quite intense. I think she's supposed to be the light, cool, funny. And if they're trying to go through that younger demographic thing, that's where she's supposed to fill the gap.
Yeah. So I guess more relatable than Paul.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
it just didn't click. Maybe it was obvious to everyone. It really truly didn't click to me until this
Yeah.
moment, because I'm just imagining Dr. Pepper would say that. She is a sex therapist, but I think 5 seasons ago she checked out. So
Yeah.
are we
Exactly.
done yet? So yeah. So Paul is resigned, and he's like, okay, the three V's, and we need to focus on them. Mecca is like, oh, I have been. And then Adam's like, one more, vibes, and like four vibes. And I do like that it ended on this note. Like I like that it was light. I like that there was some kind of laughs. And I like that for once they focused on both of them and not just Mecca. So
Yes, exactly. It was kind of like, okay, finally she
yeah.
has a voice in this relationship in the group setting.
Yeah. Adam and Marissa. Adam is in his gym wear, t-shirt, shorts. He has his feet on the table. I don't know at what point he got there. And Paul is like, "Are you comfortable enough?"
Right.
Pat says there's no real urgency or reverence from him, and he's like, "Yeah, even though my posture might appear that, like, I've been full send the last 2 weeks." And I'm like, "Wait,
Full send.
doing the math. They have 2 weeks left. That's 4 weeks. So he didn't start full sending until
Right?
2 weeks ago. Like what?"
Yep.
Paz is like, it's clear you're attracted to each other, but I feel like you've hit like a cruising altitude. And he's like, yeah, we had our bad day. Like cruise control has been turned off. He says that she has made efforts to go to the gym with him. She is taking lessons with, I guess, a friend that has private pickleball court, and he appreciates it. Remember, guys, I was like, I hope she knows that compromise isn't one way, because why is she
Right.
doing all of this?
Exactly.
Caitlin has a confessional, guys, saying he is looking for a girl to match him when long term he has a unicorn. It doesn't matter if it's like, what did you say, 2 feet tall or whatever, it's still a unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
I was just happy to see Caitlyn in a confessional where she's in crying,
Yeah.
almost didn't recognize her.
Uh,
So Pat says, "Are you reciprocating?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then she brings up his family, which they haven't talked about in a while. And he's like, "Yeah, we're having a kickback, and she gets to meet my sister." Marissa is like, "I am." Oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, they're not ready. Then they talk about her friends that they had, fun. And then she says, they had concerns. He goes, "They did?" I'm like, these people are not. It's
just
just vibes
not
for real.
communicating. I mean, when you say such limited words, like
Yeah.
your word count is probably like at a 20 in your
Yeah.
conversation because of the repeated words. You're not going
Yes.
to get these things out. You're not going to talk about oh yeah, I do really want you to meet my sister because da
Mhm.
da 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 da, and it will happen soon. Or
Mhm.
hey, after my friends left, so they did have a few concerns because that would
Once, yeah,
require having a serious conversation, which they don't want to have.
they don't want to have that. So he says he thought it was good vibes. I hugged them, but then they went to the hallway. They yapped for 45 minutes in the hallway. But who knows how hard I was cooked. Like, from what it seems, it looks like I was torched. I was amused. I'm not going to lie. I laughed. I also wondered, like, how does he talk at work? Like, how does he talk to his coworkers?
I know. It can't be that, but even like for if he talks to his friends like this, that doesn't necessarily mean he has to talk to her this
That
way.
way. Yeah. Paul says he has peeped 3 things of concern around communication, the 3 things that we all saw, and they need to work on their communication. The one thing I want to notice is like Marissa. It's easy to focus on Adam, right? And yes, he just needs to step up. But I think the problem really is Marissa might not know herself. She's kind of
Yes.
hinted at that a little bit where she says it's hard to like bring up stuff when I don't really know what I want. And I think that's the
Mhm.
main issue. It's easier to go along because the question becomes, well, what do you want? And then you have to
Mhm.
be I don't know, I'm not sure because why? So when she's with her friend, she's all rah rah, I'm not going to do this. And her friend is like, I'm glad that you're not losing yourself, but then
Right.
she reverts when he's around because why are we doing the workout that you don't want to do?
Exactly.
So, yeah. Michelle and Cameron, they asked them their most challenging thing. They're questioning if they're in a bubble, how to keep things the same way they are. She says to her it's real because she can see life outside of this. That her friends say he's the best guy that she's dated. It feels real. It feels normal. They're integrating really well. The whole sparks running out in 20 years comes up, and I get annoyed by that whole thing.
Mhm.
We're in week 4. Why
Yeah, we're
are we
creating
thinking about,
problems.
you
Yeah.
know, things that haven't happened yet? But the whole remain endlessly curious advice is giving to them. Passion fades. Pat said this, passion fades, but it transcends to a different level. But then they asked them, like, have you guys said the L word? And then it's a whole Michelle almost said it, but you didn't. We're falling for each other. He's like, no, you didn't. You almost said it. But he did say, like, a lot of my things in my life are better because she's in it. And I'm like, that's so nice. And
I
then he
love that.
says,
That's what you
even when
want.
yeah, just like natural and organic too. Like it's
Mhm.
not board meeting speak, it's not over the top, it's just your genuine feelings, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, even when she does her night routine, like he misses her, like it takes so long. And then Paul brings up, like, apparently you drive 3 hours to spend the night with her. And he says, that's love in action. I mean, I still don't know how I feel about them always trying to make them be in love, let them go at their pace. But he's not wrong. Whatever emotion it is action. Action
Yeah.
motivated is, what it is. And then Caitlyn high fives Michelle and is like, oh, you guys are so cute. And they're usually my shortest segment. We do have like a little bit of aftermath of the group afterwards. And I'll
Mhm.
speak a little on my concern for them,
Yeah.
when it comes to Michelle and Cameron. But yeah, that was it for group therapy. Caitlin and Devin at the end of the therapy, and wow, I was not expecting this, guys. I thought they were leaving this
Yeah.
week. So, she shares that she opened up about her past. She's not going into detail, as is her right to, and she can count on 3 fingers the number of people that she's told. And for me, that is huge because just being comfortable enough to feel that you can share that with him
Yeah.
is huge progress.
I know. I feel like people are being very critical of her, of just like
Mhm.
progress and growth. But I think
Mhm.
she's there. Everybody moves their own pace.
Yeah. Yes, but slow burn, married at first sight,
Yes,
okay.
I know that didn't match.
Yes.
But in comparison, who I'm comparing to like Courtney,
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
different.
Yeah, but she hates Nick. So
Yeah. Right.
but even better was that she shared it and he received it very well. Like it was so like she was shaking afterwards, but he handled everything so well. And she felt right in sharing that with him and loved that for her and him.
Mhm.
She's glad that she had the conversation. And if you remember, Paul said this couple of group sessions ago. I don't know who he was talking to, or it was like, move at your own pace, share these things with your partner. If it works out, then proceed. If it doesn't, take a step back and
Yeah,
decide it
if
worked
it
out.
doesn't, he said, like, if it doesn't, then let that be the test.
The
Like,
test,
you
yes.
you realized, "Okay, this is somewhere
Mhm.
a lane I don't wanna go down."
Yes, exactly. So Paul says, okay, so the emotional connection is growing. And I'm so glad that they didn't immediately follow it with like, well, how's the physical? How's the intimacy? I'm
Yes.
so glad because clearly this is a very sensitive topic, with her.
Mhm.
So let's not, ruin that with whatever
Right.
they have going on. So, she says nice things about him. He's very painfully aware. And Felipe chimes in that, he's so committed. That's Devin. And she says there's 1,000 reasons why she thought she had to lean into the masculine energy. And she just realized that maybe it's not the most attractive quality. And Paul asked, can we talk about the hard stuff? I'm like, wait, what more hard stuff?
Mm.
But it wasn't so bad. He just asked Devin, like the Devin that's on the couch with us, is it in his fullness or is this a reduction? Devin kind of looked scared, and I thought he was gonna say, no, I'm not in my fullness. But he says it's a lot more of who I am. She
Yeah.
is a lot more receptive of who I am. And Paul is like, yes, you're getting your swag back. And Caitlin points out like he even wore like his mushroom socks. And I'm like, was it that bad? He couldn't even wear his.
He can express himself through his socks? What?
But she does say that she can see a future with Devin. And, this is the first time because, Harry and I were going back and forth. He's like, I have hope for them. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what you're seeing. This is done. But
Yeah.
this is the first time I'm kind of seeing maybe there's hope, but I'm not sold, but it was nice to see
Yes.
the progress. So,
Yeah, and I feel like progress is progress. Like, yeah, you don't have to be making leaps and bounds. You don't have to be exactly where Michelle and
yeah,
Cameron are.
yeah,
But if you are further along than where you were at the beginning, then that is progress. And as long as he
yes,
feels like he's not losing himself, like maybe he did come out like it's a similar to like an Adam and Marissa where
yeah,
he came off a little bit more intense about like the just in the relationship for her
yeah,
taste. And I feel like she is opening up more than she was. And
yes.
even if he's not at that same level of intensity, I think I was saying that on our recap over on the We Know Dating Shows YouTube channel, I was saying that I think that they are the type of couple who can thrive once the cameras are gone.
Okay.
Like, I
Yeah,
think it's possible that she may loosen up a little bit.
that's
He may
true.
be able to they're spending less time filming, so he can be, go hang out with his boys and get all of that, like, rugby
Energy
energy out, whereas that now he's spending a majority of his time with her.
with
So
her.
then it's like, okay, I'm trying to get all of my outlets out with this one person, and
Yeah.
she's the type of person that what black cat energy, quote unquote, then that is not conducive to how he generally expresses himself. So as
Yeah.
long as he's not dimming his light, I think it's good.
Yes. That's a good point. I always say like the foundation is set during filming anyways, but they might be the rare exception where
Mhm.
the cameras not being there will probably be helpful with them. Paul says, you guys, this is the last time either of us will see you guys till decision day. What does that mean? Why?
Because they're not having another group session? This is the last group session, right?
But he said it could be for some of you. This could be the last time that we see
Oh,
you
if they
guys.
don't have like a therapy session.
Oh, are they really going to end it without all of them getting a therapy session? Oh, okay. But that makes sense. But
I don't
that's
know.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll quickly just go through the quick aftermath of after the group sessions. Mecca and Beljolie are all like, "Oh my God, Sean, he was so specific about what he wanted." Mecca was like, "He asked for a bat." And Belgelie's like, "Well, I think he was just giving examples of the levels
Yeah.
of intimacy that he wants." And I was like, he could have just said, I think Mecca was like, he could have just said he wanted something to that level or similar, but not like direct. Belgelie is like, I disagree. I think it's just examples, which is a whole thing on social media. People are like getting on her, like, why are you, backing Sean? And she's just like, I don't want anyone to think like I don't have Nikki's back. I will always have Nikki's back. I have so much to say after the show's done. I have things to say. And I'm like, okay, I'm sad. I want to hear it
I
all.
know. I think this reunion is gonna be so good.
So good. Then she says, we disagree on something. And then he goes, we disagree on many things. For example, I don't put ketchup on my eggs. That's weird. I eat sweet potato fries. I'm normal. And she's like, okay, I'm going to pull a Paul. Don't disrespect me. Now, this I thought was disrespectful. I agree.
And
Because,
because
oh, go ahead.
I never know if he's joking. I swear I never know if he's joking. And so in this, I thought he was trying to like poke light fun, but the way she reacted was like, this is
Hmm.
not the first, the second, or third time he said this. Like he has
Yeah.
probably said this multiple times and it's gotten
Yeah.
to the point of being annoying because like, okay, now like you really are trying to make me feel weird for
Yeah.
just sharing like a little quirk I have.
And why I didn't like it is like he says all the things he's worried about her thinking he's so weird, and then you throw it back in her face, even if it was light banter. Like it's not
Yeah.
funny. Like don't say things like that. Even though you understand that Mecca is probably going through perpetual anxiety or social
Mhm.
anxiety, and always thinking like this is the best way for him to work through it, but it's not.
Yeah.
And especially your wife, and if she says don't do it, but as if that was it. He goes, "It's okay. It's okay. It won't be the first time a woman laid hands on me."
Like, good
And
lord.
she's like, "Oh God, no! Like, don't say that." And he's like, "No." And he
Yeah.
keeps saying that. Like, I can handle it. It's the first time, and this is not the life we want for Beljolie. We cannot keep doing
No.
this. Am I in trouble? Are you mad at me? Are you gonna hit me? It's okay. I deserve it. I'm not worthy. I'm not okay. This
Ugh.
is a lot, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Um, Sean and Nikki, as usual, security cam. He says, I thought that session was so good. So basically, he reiterates his speech to Courtney at the dinner 2 weeks ago, a last drop, where you have to do things that are uncomfortable. And he was like, the first time we do it, it's not going to sound normal. Do what? But I'm just going to hope for the best, that it's
Yeah.
something else. And he's like, it's going to be performative because we got to say it.
Yes.
And then they kiss. I mean, he's all touchy feely, grabbing her ass and all that. It just always feels like he's lecturing her, and she's just so kind and listens to it.
Mhm. I
I don't
know,
know.
it's so annoying.
Yeah. So the next morning, they're making bacon, and is it odd that they're just finding out how they like their bacon in week 4?
Yes.
Okay.
That shit I was like, "What?" And then I thought, "Okay, maybe this is yet again like a
Something.
performative thing, like, oh, I'm just making conversation type of thing." But I'm like, "Y'all aren't regularly eating breakfast together in the same space?"
Even in the hotel, like when you order, oh, I want
Yeah.
mine crispy. I want my, anyways. But these two and their quick turnarounds because they're having bacon, and she's like, I wasn't proud, but now I'm proud. I'm gonna get my mom on the phone. Maybe Monday, Tuesday. When I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
You like it? I love it. Okay. Felipe and Tori. He says he was feeling super hopeful. Honestly, he's an idiot for that. That's me.
Yeah,
I
no, he's
just
delusional at this point. Because what are you talking about?
You expected to be able to keep saying that you want to sleep with many women and still think your wife will feel great and hopeful?
Yep.
Get out of here. Tori is like, yeah, I've given you space to figure it out. And instead, you sounded the same tonight as you did the last time. And Felipe is like more focused, according to him, on how Paul and Tori painted him out. And I'm like, you did that. You can do bad all by yourself.
Yeah. Y'all
They
painted
didn't
me a
do that.
certain way based off the things you've already said. You already painted that way.
Yeah.
So,
His eyes were so bloodshot. They were so
mhm.
red, and I'm like, huh?
I
Did
was
they go for
wondering if he had been
drinks?
crying or that's kind of what it looked like, but
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
He says, I like you. I like you even more now. And the issue started when I realized how much I liked you and it scared me. I am sick of these men turning their insecurity into sabotage and
Yep.
then, oh, feel sorry for me. It's because I like you. That should be enough for you. Get out of here. Go figure it
Yeah.
out. So he says he wants to show her how much he likes her, and it's hard for him to swallow that she doesn't feel it. He asks for another chance as it was weird music playing in the background. You know those shows when someone's about to murder someone and they're just like
Yeah.
hyping it up? And I'm like, what kind of
Yeah.
song choice is this? She asked, what does that look like? And he's like, we can take this offline. And she's like, I don't want the Nikki and Dr. Sean talk. Stop it. And then he's like, the KPIs and the stuff. She's like, I can't. He apologizes. They get into bed and she says, you need to figure it out. And as of now, she doesn't know if that will happen. I mean, he does seem broken by it, but like I've always said, Felipe is performative. I don't know what's true or
So
not. So
performative. Yeah. Yeah.
um, Michelle and Cameron, security cam. Looks like Cameron is having a bad day. And Michelle is going over and saying, what's going on. He says, I don't want to talk about it. And he says he's feeling shitty. He doesn't know what's wrong with him. He's just, feeling sad. And she says, not every day will be a happy day. And this is what I was referring to, where I don't know if she's going to be like Belle Jolie, where she's going to have to spend a lot of their relationship reassuring him. And I feel like the experts did them a disservice where they're focused on them being the successful couple, that they're not digging deep into what may be a possible bump, you
Yes.
know,
Hmm.
um, for them. Because I do find that she's doing a lot of reassuring to him, you know.
Yeah, but I do think, like, there is something to being, like, the more optimistic one in the couple,
Mhm.
and the more, I guess, more positive one.
Mhm.
So there is that, like, reassurance that's needed, but I hope he's also doing it on her end because she's not gonna always just think things are gonna go smoothly.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I think he does reassure her through his actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're speaking each other's love languages, I think.
Right.
I
Yeah.
hope. So, but again, this is practice for him. He's never been in a long-term relationship, and then it looks like his first long-term relationship is like a powerhouse of a woman. So,
Mhm.
he has to
Yeah.
work through that and his insecurities and everything else going on. But also, this apartment is so nice. It was so light and airy when we were
Mhm.
watching them through that lens.
Yeah.
He says, that he wants to go back to being happy. Everything feels like a chore. But then we get to a confessional where they just show him not saying anything, but just looking really stressed. And again, I hope they have individual therapy, well, couples individual
Yeah.
therapy, if they need to address, the way Paz called out Marissa and was like, hey, you have anxiety, like
Mhm.
in the casual way she goes, how about depression? Those two go
Yeah.
hand in hand.
Right.
The way she called that out, just so maybe there's room for them to talk about that, just to see if this is something, Cameron has to deal with. Because I do think Michelle needs to know
Yeah.
that if this is something like how they're going to navigate it and how they, handle that. So I'm hoping they get that and they allow them to do that and not focus on all is well. You guys are so great because
Exactly.
it's not realistic. So yeah.
Yeah.
She tells him, let's take a break. They take a walk and they happen to run into a wedding. And I'm like, wow, how great.
That's so
Because that reminds
cute.
him,
Yeah.
yes, of why they're together. He says he is insecure about being a sad person. And he does wonder why she likes him so much. He thinks about it a lot. And all these men, maybe Courtney was onto something where she said they need to step up.
Right. Yeah. She needs to come back as just the coach for the men.
Yeah. So Michelle says she's worried that the anxious part of him will scare her away, and no, of him, yeah, will scare her away. And as a person with anxiety, I empathize with him. I just hope that he's able to manage it and push through and not ruin a good thing. So
I know.
just all the information and get help if he needs help. I think that's the
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
He's not talking about it, but if he needs to, just for his sake and their sake, I hope he does.
Exactly.
All right, final Adam and Marissa. They're
Oof.
going on the hot tub boat date. It seems fun. I mean, it looks cool. His takeaway, as he says, leaning back, is I'm just gonna full send it the last 2 weeks. And
Yep, that'll get you right where you need to be.
he's doing that by trying to plan this date and tell her that it doesn't have to be aggressive. At first I was like, what? But he means like his pickleball and gym. But
Yes.
I gotta say, this date seems like something he would want. She
Yes.
said, I want a romantic date. So,
And a romantic date without some type of physical activity would have been like, hey, I'm planning like this really romantic dinner. You're gonna see like it's gonna have some rose petals leading to our table. It's just going to be conversation. And I think he is so caught up in not having conversation that he needs to do these active things.
yes,
Like why this needed to turn into a push-up on a boat
competition.
like
Hmm.
did not make sense whatsoever. Like it could have been the hot tub, and if they were romantically just like, well, he doesn't
Static.
drink, but sipping a beverage and
Yeah.
talking and sitting in the hot tub,
Yeah.
just that.
I wonder about this man. You don't drink, but you shotgunned water.
Yes. It's all for show. I mean, at, all for show is strong, but I think that it's one thing to not drink, and it's another thing to not drink and then make sure everybody knows.
No, is
That's
that
when it
yeah.
feels performative. Like, if you don't wanna drink for yourself, that's fine, but you don't
Yeah.
have to, "Hey, I'm better than everybody because I don't drink."
Drink. Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned the push-ups. Like, okay, maybe we can make an excuse like, oh, it's just a fun, let's do push-ups. But he's nitpicking at her about the
Yes.
push-ups. You're
Not
not going
in
all the
low
way
enough.
down. Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
going, and it's not fun. Like all dates, we should have clothes on. Let's start there.
Yeah.
You know? He brings up her friend's concerns, and a little part of me is like, did he bring it up on his own, or does the producer be like, okay, bring up the
Let's
friend
talk
thing?
about this, yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, no, they're just concerned. Like they have, they're all married. They're both married, and they don't have the same hobbies as their husbands. And he's like, so divorce in 2 to 3 years. I'm like, no, you you're trying to give
Because,
her the
like,
good side.
come on, these are her friends she cares about. Why you going in on her friends? Of course she's gonna feel a way about that. Like, don't talk about the people she cares about. Like, that's not funny. He thinks everything is a joke, and so it
Everything.
turns into, like, you're just being annoying.
Yes. Plain and simple. And to your point about I drink, but everybody should know about this. He keeps going on about being on an upward trajectory and
Mhm.
it's only going to get more intense in my diet, no dessert. And she's like, you just ate banana ice cream the other day. He's
Yeah.
like, no, 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 that was the thing. That she was like, yeah, but it still was.
Mm.
We start arguing semantics 4 days when I'm like, see,
Yep.
you are just making this a thing when
Yep.
it shouldn't even have to be a thing. So she brings up his sister, and this man badly does not want to have a conversation. He throws himself into the water. That's what I'm saying he did.
He
Because
literally did. That's exactly what he did. He literally, to avoid this conversation, he drops into the water because, God forbid, you have any intentional conversations that do not center around vibes, full send.
do you think we're going to see the sister?
I hope so. I think now they've mentioned her a couple times. I think we have to at this point, like in this next drop.
Okay.
Episodes, what, 16 through 18? I think we have to see that type of meeting because I wonder for them to, because everything that they include is intentional, right?
Yeah.
Like even down to the Courtney mentioning Adam. Like I felt like that all led up to Nick being like, the only time I see you excited is when we're with Adam.
Yeah.
And so I think because they've mentioned her now twice, the group session, and then now
Hmm.
hit this, I think we have to see that meeting. And I wonder, is she gonna learn more about Adam in that
Mm.
meeting? Or is his sister like very protective and is gonna have a feeling about Marissa not matching Adam's intensity?
Yeah. I didn't see it in the preview, and I was like, huh. We still, but also we didn't see her friends in the preview, and that happened. So
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
Same with like Caitlin's dad.
Yeah. True. Okay. I hope so too. I hope we do, just to get some insight.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know if she's like Adam or not.
Probably.
He thinks they're en route to falling in love, and because he doesn't want to talk, he starts kissing her. He says, motorboating her, really, and they're canoodling. Then he starts asking about kids. How many kids? 7 boys, all the things, marriage for the rest of their lives. And she says in a confessional, she loves when he jokes, but she just wants to feel like he's being genuine. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how it ends. And I just think these two are writing it out. And even if they say yes on decision day, I just don't see this lasting.
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, and she said it a few episodes ago. She said they are great boyfriend girlfriend, but that's not why we're here.
Yeah.
We're here for a wife and a husband, and I don't think that Adam. I don't think Adam has what he needs in a wife, and I think she doesn't have what she needs in Adam as a
Mhm.
husband. So it's not like either one of them are in the wrong space.
Yeah.
You know, they are fine for who they are. They just need a better match.
Yeah. As entertaining as this season is, I'm wondering what it's gonna do for future people coming on the show. What are we gonna
Ugh,
get? Because this one was the first. We didn't
yeah,
know. Now we know, and I'm like, what are we gonna get? What is the pool gonna look
I
like?
know. I know. It's scary to think about because like I really don't want them to lean into the reality of it all
I think
or
we're
like
there.
reality TV vets.
I think. I'm looking to see if next season we have one person like that. Then that means every season we just have to expect,
Have our token.
yeah,
Ugh.
person. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Okay, before we sign out, do you have a bouquet that you want to give for this episode?
It's a couple, right? Not just an
It doesn't.
individual.
It could be enemy. It could
Okay.
be enemy. Yeah, no rules.
I think I'll give it I mean, obviously, I'll give it to Michelle and Cameron.
Yeah.
And not just because they are the most stable. And I know they chime in on these other couples because they feel so solid what they have going on. So they are a little
Mhm.
bit more opinionated. But that
Mhm.
aside, I do like that they aren't coasting. I do feel
Okay.
like they are making intentional efforts to make sure that they are progressing their relationship. They're planning for the
Mhm.
future. They are looking for um longevity in this relationship. It's not just like, oh, this is somebody I connected with right away, then we're good. I do feel like they are being intentional in making sure that they have a good emotional connection and that they can see a life with each other beyond decision day. And I just
Mhm.
love that he is making that active effort because he could so easily be like, we're not filming. I'm going to stay in Portland. Like, no,
Yeah.
he genuinely wants to be with her.
Yes.
So it's not even just like oh, it's easy with us. So we're going to judge the other couples. It's
Yeah.
like, no, we are genuinely like, this is a good thing. And so
Yeah.
I really enjoy their scenes and I'm glad that we have it because they're so normal. I think that's the other thing. These two are not putting on, they're normal people who took a chance at love this way and it's just hit it like they are it was such a great match. Like I
Yes.
think that they are what the other needs.
Yeah.
And so and I don't know. I just think that they just genuinely really care for each
Really
other.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they're still together because it would
I
just be
know, I would
shocking
be really bummed actually.
as to what it is. Yeah, for
Yeah.
them. Okay, my bouquet goes to Paul simply because honestly, when he was dressing down Felipe, I just don't understand how giddy I was. I just really enjoyed it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so he gets my bouquet for that. So, who has your ashes?
I'm gonna have to go with Felipe.
Okay.
I just think that he is not giving like action matters. Like you can't just say words and then not follow it up with action. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if he's so delusional right now that he does not realize the effort that it takes. Like he
Yeah.
needs to be planning dates. He needs to be bringing flowers home. He needs to be learning what her love languages are and
Yeah.
tapping into that fully. He needs to be full sending it, as Adam says.
Yeah.
Like,
He
and
needs to
he's
woo her.
yes, he needs to win her over. There's like active effort that it needs to take at this point with this 2 weeks left that you need to be showing her that you are committed to her. Just saying I'm all in is not enough.
Yeah.
That's not going to cut it after saying you miss sleeping with a bunch of women. Like
Mm-hmm.
you are coming from the negative and he acts like he's just like, "Oh, if I just maintain we're good." No, you
Yeah.
like Paul said, you need to be digging yourself out of this hole to prove to her that you want to be with her and no one else.
Yeah.
And he's just not doing that and doesn't recognize that he needs to do that. And so that's
Mhm.
a problem.
That was so reckless, honestly. The more I think
Oof.
about him just saying that, that was just really
Just
reckless.
yeah.
So, Okay, my ashes goes to Nick. I'm giving him one last hurrah just for not standing up for something. Even when they
Mhm.
asked you, do you want to opt out of your marriage? And you're like, well, that. And you waited for Courtney to say no. And you're like, I think I can agree with that. Well,
Yeah.
stand up for something, Nick. Like, if you're going to
Right.
say something, like Paul said, say it
Something.
with your chest.
Yeah.
Okay? So, but I'm glad you're free though. But yes.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
okay. That's the episode today. Asia, as always, it's a pleasure chatting with you. Can you share with people where they can find you?
You can find me on all social media at Asia like Asia. That's AYSHA like ASIA. Right now, talking about this season of Married at First Sight over on the We Know Dating Show's YouTube channel under the umbrella of Rob Has a Podcast. Jason Reed and I are recapping each batch of episodes. We also have a Patreon. So patreon.com/a perfect match podcast, where we dive a little bit deeper into the episodes. Tane joined me last week to talk about episodes 10 through 12. So that was a lot of fun. And so yeah, come join on and listen to our long recaps. And so also I have a podcast with my girlfriend called Life by Us. It's Life BI Us, where it's just a lifestyle podcast. We just talk about what's going on in our lives, new episode every Sunday. So you can find that on YouTube at Life BI Us or anywhere you get your audio podcasts. And then also I've just been hopping in talking about Big Brother 28 over on Rob Has a Podcast. So you can find me there.
Yes, and I will put them in the show notes so you guys can easily find that over there. So thank you guys for listening. Until next time, bye.